Do you remember the last time that you tried to have a conversation with your partner about what you thought was a seemingly simple request? Do you remember how you felt afterward? Some may have felt good and heard, yet for many others, that request somehow turned into a major disagreement and they walked away feeling unheard and misunderstood. Maybe you even felt like you were adversaries. For some of you, you've been together for quite some time and you feel that you've lost the spark. And maybe now, after years together, you find yourselves with different drives when it comes to physical intimacy. Is it possible that those years have led to routine and now you're unsure of how to discuss spicing things up without one person feeling disappointed and maybe the other pressured? And let's not even get into talking about money and the feelings that surrounds those conversations. What if I shared with you that you can actually learn how to navigate these conflicts in a way that both of you feel seen, heard, and like a team who is reading from the same playbook? That is what I guide couples to do as a relationship consultant. I help couples just like you move past habits of miscommunication that can lead to significant disagreements and disappointments. Instead, couples begin to feel more connected with their partners. They're able to bring back a sense of fun and lightness to their relationships and find peace in solving these difficult relationship topics and problems. I'm Tonya Maveros, founder of LoveSpark. Believe it or not, my work with couples began more than 20 years ago. I started as an Army Family Readiness Group leader during the height of the Iraq War. Our organization supported couples through deployments by creating community and helping partners communicate through limited channels to connect as much as possible with their soldiers. Later, as a law enforcement officer, I responded to calls where couples who loved each other had no idea how to communicate, which led to screaming matches and authorities being called. Sometimes they were separated, but more often I was able to mediate, allowing each person to be heard and come up with their own solution to the conflict. With a change of focus for my career, I pursued a path as an intimacy consultant. This space allowed me to better understand the difference between what made great relationships and relationships that struggled. And that difference was intentionality. The couples with the most positive experiences were intentional about many things: date nights, making space for each other to be seen and heard, and showing daily appreciation. Those who used intimacy products as a jolt to the relationship were far less intentional and found communicating needs, wants, and desires even more difficult. As a certified professional coach, I learned more about individuals and how their own backgrounds were impacting their relationship happiness. However, as like many people, the pandemic led me back to the workforce where I found myself working for a top-tier credit union. I began working right away with members by understanding their finances and the stresses that existed within them. Eventually, I moved into a position as a financial educator, helping couples recognize their money psychology, beliefs, and how upbringing impacts each person, the couple, and the family when it comes to money. Even with 2 decades of experience, my first marriage could not survive missing the skills and tools that would have allowed us to continue to grow together. Instead, we grew apart. And seeing my own faults, I vowed to do things differently in my next relationship by being more intentional about building a healthy relationship. This had friends asking me for advice and what we were doing differently. How were we able to talk about hard stuff without it turning into a fight? How could we talk about our disagreements so openly and then later laugh about it? I was able to share our relationship philosophy of intentionality. By being intentional with our relationship, we were naturally using the 7 principles for making relationships work that have been identified by the Gottmans. It was then that I knew I wanted to help couples feel the way that I felt. I wanted to help couples learn these tools to deepen their connection and strengthen their relationship. And looking back on my work, it felt natural to focus on the 3 most common areas of conflict for couples: intimacy, money, and household responsibilities, including childcare. We would work together on these topics in a practical, direct, and common sense approach, which is why I founded LoveSpark and became a 7 principles leader. So what are the 7 principles? They are what healthy couples do to have an emotionally intelligent relationship, for a deeper connection, and to better navigate conflict. And this happens through communication. As I share the 7 principles, listen and consider where you are the strongest and where there's room for growth as a couple. As you'll see, this is the Sound Relationship House from the Gottmans. You have your 2 pillars, and this is the walls to your house. This is necessary to definitely be able to navigate this, but it's something you can still work on. So the first principle that you're going to see here is enhance your love maps. Principle 2, nurture your fondness and admiration. And then we have principle 3, turn toward each other instead of away. Then we have number 4, let your partner influence you. Number 5, solve your solvable problems. The next is overcoming gridlock. And then we have create shared meaning, which I'm going to give you an activity for this. Now, some people may be doing great in all other areas, and maybe other people might have to work through all 7 principles, right? Kind of like our finances, every relationship is different, every money situation is different. But creating shared meaning really focuses on dreaming together. So I think it's important that we understand what this looks like. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of an activity, and you can pause and go through this activity as you listen to this video, or you can simply write it all down and then go back and do it later. So it's whatever works for you, but also we're going to do this activity together as a pair, not just as one person sharing it with the other, okay? And so when I talk to you about this, I just say this because I know that for some of you, you might need this relationship refresh, which simply means that routine has bogged you down and intentionality may have fallen off the wayside. So one activity that I do love to share is the relationship mission statement, which builds upon shared meaning. Think about it. Many of the greatest companies in the world work off of mission statements, which is meant to guide their decisions, their actions, and especially during difficult times. Think about it. Many of us have goals in our life, right? Especially when we're in our youth, or maybe even our early adulthood. So this could look like making sure that you're graduating high school, and then the next step after that is to go off to college or go to trade school and then right into the workforce. Then maybe it's finding your job and starting your career as with all the excitement that happens. And then for a lot of people, the next steps are getting married, maybe buying a house, having kids. And then after that, we're supporting the kiddos and so on and so forth. But what happens when you wake up and realize that you stopped dreaming? This is what can happen when we get into our routine and our day-to-day, is that we forget to stop dreaming, especially as adults. So what happens when Groundhog's Day is present and that you forget there's still a whole person, that you are an amazing couple who still deserve to dream and have your own goals? Well, this is where your mission statement can come in to remind you. Of course, this does not apply to all couples, which is amazing, but for those who need to hear this, it's okay. Focus on yourself and each other in a way that was reserved for the beginning of the relationship. It's totally okay. So here are roughly 6 to 7, maybe 6 to 8 questions that you can ask yourselves to begin writing your mission statement, right? So get a piece of paper and a pen, or your laptop if you're a tech person. But I'm going to go through these for you, and then I want you to finish the sentences of these 6 to 8 questions, and then we'll go from there. So number 1, our top 5 to 7 values are. Number 2, we are the strongest as a couple when. Number 3, we will try to eliminate times when we. Number 4, we will create more time for each other and ... Number 5, supporting and encouraging each other will look like. Number 6, it is most important that we will fill our relationship with. Number 7, in understanding it's important to grow together as a couple, we will consistently rejuvenate ourselves and our relationship by. With those questions answered, you can now choose sections, words, and phrases to create a mission statement to guide you as a couple. I hope that you were able to take a little nugget of wisdom with you and are able to put these action steps into place. Thank you so much for joining me and learning more about myself and ultimately Love Spark. And don't miss the next video where I will cover more details about a couple who are able to work on their relationship with a simple action step that were fun and insightful. I'm sure this video sparked some thoughts or questions. So we love to have open discussion at Love Spark, so please drop them in the comments. And one last thing, also please share this video to someone you know who may find it interesting or even helpful.